on, everybody? Geronimo22 coming back here, showing a little video here, getting ready to talk about the run game. Just got a little film of 2019 49ers, the year they went to the Super Bowl. We got Jimmy G at QB, obviously. Just going through the first game of the year. I'm going to go through all of the games throughout the whole season and break down clips for you guys. But let me just give a little intro. This video is going to be about the wide zone run game. I'm not going to go into the specifics of necessarily all of the footwork and who you're reading. I'm looking at it more from you want to get into the game and call some plays. I went through and basically found all the wide zone plays and all of the plays labeled off tackle. That's pretty much the core run of the system. Now we can use the stretch play, and we'll talk more about that later, but we will use more of the wide zone and off tackle plays. And the good thing about this offense in general, guys, I think there's more people, obviously, who are running this offense in real life. I think the number is 18 teams in the NFL run this style of play. So when you see the wide zone scheme and even some of the terminology that I'm going to introduce to you guys, if you guys follow Ben Kurt's channel, I think that's his name, former quarterback, he is doing a lot of stuff for Madden. He's been talking about the plays. Go watch his videos. He does a nice job of trying to go back and look at some of the game plans he had with Shanahan and some of the game plans he had with his time in Green Bay. He does a good job of actually calling out some of the plays that you're going to hear me talk about in this video. So he's going to give you that nice little player's perspective, get you in the mind of a quarterback. I'm going to hit you guys from a coaching perspective on how to organize the plays, how to set plays up, how to build out your own game plan so you can run the system. And you guys know that I have my play call sheet. I'll be kind of working off of that. And then if you guys are interested, join my Patreon. You can download that play call sheet, but you can also download the playbook itself. It's up there right now. It's called Shanahan V1. It's on the share. It's a custom playbook. And again, I'm focusing on 2019. So the reason why I'm doing that is I want to start at the beginning of the genesis of Madden. And I think Madden has a lot of plays that are built off of this specific era. And then the newer plays that are in there with the cheat motions and all those things, that's more current day. And we will get to that. We will build towards that as we go along. But I think in order to get a really full understanding of the offense, let's get back into 21 personnel. Let's dial it back about 5 or 6 years and let's just get this thing rolling. And then we can start getting to some more of the complicated stuff as we go so we can grow together. All right, so just want to show you guys a little bit of gameplay here. I think it's always fun to watch NFL film, obviously. I have this whole season. I have plenty of other seasons we can watch together. And next part here, I'm going to go into the actual install of the outside zone / wide zone and kind of give you guys the breakdown of how I like to do it. I like to show you guys the sheet, the actual play call sheet, and then I'll show you actual playbook, the actual playbook from the 49ers. The actual plays and how they drew them up. And that's free to get online, guys. There's lots of guys out there giving away that content. It's not hard to find if you want the whole thing, but I'm going to break it down a little bit at a time. So sit back and relax. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. I'm putting this one up on YouTube for everybody to see. And then going forward, most of the stuff will live on the Patreon, okay? I'll talk to y'all in the next clip. Hey, what's going on, fellas? We're going to talk about the run game in this video. We're going to start with the wide zone play. And we're going to start with just, as you see it on the sheet, how it makes sense. We already talked about the first formation, strong left, wide to wide right, ace. Okay, so we're starting in basically I strong, close, okay? And we're going to start with the tight end on the left, motion them over. And this is one of the few times, we'll do this more as we go along, but this is just like a setup of a family of plays like we talked about. But the play call we have here is 19 weeks. So the numbers 8 and number 9 have to do with the wide zone play in this offense. And 19 is the direction. So remember, odd numbers are going to the left, even numbers are going to the right. And this is already set up for you the way you see it here. The word weak, you're going to see, anytime you see the word weak, usually that involves the fullback and he's going to block the will linebacker. Okay. So as we go along, there are other tags that you see behind the names of plays. And usually the way I learned it growing and coming up is basically that tag kind of gives the offensive guys an idea of who to block, the rules of the blocking scheme. And to be honest with you, you kind of know if it's one back or two back sometimes. So Wanda is a tag that is told to go to the weak side and is usually found in one back run plays. Okay. So this one here is a combination where the coach on his play call sheet, this is exactly how Shanahan does it. This is exactly what it looks like. They put the play call first. They put the personnel they want to run second, and then they put the formation last. At times, they will have more than one formation in that last box. For our purposes, where we can read it easier, I just made it a long list. So, for example, we will have 1918 Wanda out of two formations. A real NFL coach probably would have, these two formations in one line, so they wouldn't have to necessarily have to look down. But I'm also doing this for you guys and easier to see. But we have it built out of two formations. Now, as you read the formation out, if you ever see, actually, let's go back to the play call. If you ever see the odd number first, that's a tell that the play is going weak. If you ever see the even number first, that's a tell that the play is going strong. Strong and weak is dependent on the tight end. So weak would be away from the tight end, strong would be to the tight end. Okay, and then also as the play call is written out, so the play caller can actually make the play call clean. Let's go with this formation here: box right, box right. So that's the very first thing he sees. Then he goes over to the next part over here and looks at the number system and the odd numbers first. So he's going to say box right 19 Wanda. Okay, if he wanted to call it the opposite way, it would be just nice and easy. Box left. Okay. And then he would go to the second number, 18 Wanda. All right. So when he has a formation like box right / left, nasty, it's telling him that he wants to run the formation either right or left, depending on what hash or wherever he wants to. Maybe, he sees a mismatch or he wants to get a better blocker on somebody. But then the play call works with it. So conversely, if we were to call 18-19 force and I go I right, that's the very first formation that I'm going to go 18 because now I want the ball to go to the right behind the tight end. So that's kind of how the run game works. It will work similar when it comes to the protections when we get into the pass game. I just wanted to kind of explain that to you. So let's look at some actual diagrams from Shanahan's playbook. We'll look at 19 weak and then we'll look at 19 Wanda. Again, we know that Shanahan prefers to go away from the tight end, whereas McVay prefers to go to the tight end. So unfortunately, there aren't a lot of plays that go away from the tight end naturally. If you want to get more of that, you're going to have to definitely build it into your offense. But my very first three players are built that way. Let's take a look at the actual playbook just to get a little feel for how they draw it up. I'm not going to go through all the detail of it because I'm still learning myself. But I just want to give you that NFL feel. This is how they would present it to NFL players. They usually give them a ready list of plays. Hey, this is the plays we're running in practice. Show them the playbook, get on the field, watch a little bit of film, and go from there. Okay, so we'll keep it in that same order as we go along. Okay, so we have here 1918 Wanda. Sorry, weak. Weak. So weak tells the fullback, okay, you can see here, weak tells the fullback, block the will. Okay, so we'll talk about that as we go along. We're going to run this out of 12, maybe 21 at 21, maybe 12 personnel, depending on if you want to use a tight end at fullback. But you're going to see the plays here that are written down, okay? So you can see the personnel is listed up there, 21, right? There's a little tag for toss that just tells you that we can toss the ball. Doesn't have to be handed off. In the Madden game, we're just going to obviously talk about right now, most of the time, handing the ball off, 1918 week, okay? So you can see right here what they do here in this deal. This is just formations they might have used in practice or in games. It's all in one sheet, but just talking about it as we go through. So I write nasty. All right, there's a Z shift motion. Okay, but they're going to run 19 weeks. So again, 19 is going to the left. All right. We talk about our halfback. We'll go into more detail as we play the game some more. All right. But just in general, you should be making your cut off your fifth step. That's something that's talked about in the offense a lot. All right. The fullback's going to work his way out here and get the will linebacker. So in that defense we're looking at right there, that's an old school over defense 4-4 style. Okay, so that's the linebacker there. A lot of times you're probably going to see maybe some 3-4 defenses like this one down here. Let me just clear the screen real quick. Like I right slot, this is a good formation to kind of run this play, right? So now we have a just generic 4-3 box, and we're going to get that linebacker there. Now, in Madden, I can't tell you exactly if it's always going to be blocked that way. The fullback, in my opinion, is better than it's been in the past, but it still needs a little bit of work on their assignments. But we learn that as we play the game. All right. So weak always tells you that usually there's a fullback in there blocking as a lead blocker. All right. Now let me show you 19 Wanda and the difference between that. Okay, so let's take a look at 1918 Wanda. All right. So again, this play right here is going to be weak wide zone, but you can see the formations are going to be a little bit more of one back formations, right? So a lot of times when we get these formations, we can also change the play to a different play, and we'll get into that more later. But it really has to do with box count. And, if we have the right blockers. Again, from the Madden standpoint, as you're playing the game on NCAA, if you have the numbers to block the people, if it looks like it's a good run, run it. If for some reason they have a safety walk down or something like that, a lot of times we're going to check the play the other way. Okay. So a lot of times you'll see it say something like 19 Wanda can 18. Okay. So here's an example of a one back play. We're going to get some counter motion with the tight end. All right. This would be 11 personnel or it could be 21. Doesn't matter the personnel necessarily. Don't get caught up in that. All right. But we're going to run weak zone away from the tight end. Okay. If there was some sort of run that made it so that you could, some sort of front that you couldn't run that play, then we would just change the play and run 18. Okay. So that's just the baseline of how we're going to do it. So when we get on the field, we'll take a look at the formations that we have so far and see if it makes sense to you. But that's a little bit of the terminology of how we want to get things done from the outside zone going weak. Okay, so we're on a Madden field. We already did the formation. I'm not going to go through it. I'm just going to show you the formation. Again, this would be strong left, wide right, ace. Okay, which is just strong close. We're going to take the play off tackle. So we need to memorize some of these plays. I'm not going to write them down in the play call sheet. If you're using it, you're going to have to memorize the actual name of the play. I think when I start making my favorite system and I start making the play call sheet in the game itself, you can kind of correspond. Hey, this is play one. This is play one in the favorites. You see it, you're watching it, you know what it is. Okay. But off tackle, we already went through that play, so we won't do that now. But that would be 19 weak. Okay. So the next one would be box right. Okay. We're going to just do the first formation part. Box right, 19 Wanda. Okay. So in the game itself, there's something that you would have to do. We're going to use bunch X nasty. All right. Box right nasty, I should have said. So that's what this formation is. The reason why it's box instead of bunch is that the F, who is the adjuster, and I didn't go into a whole lot about this, but you need to understand the F is the person that can be in every personnel grouping, the adjuster. He's the one that gets tagged a lot. It gets told what to do in each formation. So in this scenario here, I want to be in 21 personnel. I don't think the game allows me to get into 21. Let me take a look at it real quick. I don't think so. But what I will do is use the tight end in the slot. So this is giving me 12 personnel. Then I will manually go in and change my number 3, or in this case, yeah, this is the F in box. Okay, I'm going to make this huge check for now because this is the personnel that I have. Okay. So again, when I look at it, when I go tight end slot, this is really 21 personnel. You could do this out of 12 personnel. You could do this out of 11 personnel. Doesn't matter. Okay. So that's the flexibility of the Shanahan offense. They will be in different personnel groupings, but the same formation, knowing that it could potentially change the defense. Okay. So we're going to call this play here, we're going to call box right nasty. We already have that set. Right. So we're going to have a tight end to the right, and we are going to call wide zone weak. Okay. So it's already set up for you here. Most people would probably be in base defense to this. So I'm just going to call something out of the 3-4 set, random play. Okay. So this would be 19 Wanda. Okay. So again, one back set, 19 Wanda, For right now, this looks like it's just a run that we can run to the left. The box count is good for us. We can run. All we're doing here is reading that edge player. Okay. So right now I have a really good left tackle. He should be able to do something forceful on this guy. But if he stays outside, as in my offensive player, if he can keep his head outside, I will stay on my track and stay outside. And then if he stays inside, for whatever reason he gets caught inside, I will cut it up. Now, the thing is, I told you guys about this play. I'm not 100% on how this play works right now in Madden this year. I haven't called it enough, to be honest with you. You guys let me know what you think. I just think the track of the handoff is a little bit tight. It almost forces me to always just bang it. I don't want to say cutback, just bang it up. So it's either just stay on your line, which is considered a bounce. Bang it means just stay on your course, put your foot on the ground and go north and south. And then if you had to bend it because maybe, let's say, they had a blitzer or somebody else coming through the B gap, then you would kind of slightly bend it back. Okay, so let's see what happens here. That's exactly what I kind of anticipated. You know, that guy, the edge player was so wide, it was almost impossible for him to, for the tackle to reach him per se. But there are times where, people stunt, right? And this guy comes back inside, and then all of a sudden this play goes outside. So don't just assume that's what it is. Now we talk about the fifth step. I'm not going to really focus on it too much because I'm not sure if it really works this year. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, kind of, sort of, right? And then we're north and south. All right, so that's 19 Wanda. You can see here now we have a safety that's down in the box. So this may not be a great play. In the Madden world, these guys are pretty smart. I wouldn't run this play this way. I should probably call this 19 Wanda can. I should probably put the can tag in there. I didn't do it. Yeah, I probably will just put the can tag, or I think it's gonna put can Wanda. I think that's how they would say it. So that means we can just go 18 here. So now we're gonna run to the right. Okay, not maybe the most ideal thing if your fullback isn't, that great of an inline blocker, but we just want to get that going. Okay, here we go, 19. This could be interesting here with that 3 technique to see what happens. Yeah, he won that battle. I was worried about the second defensive lineman because that is the second guy we're reading if he can win. I'm going to run 19 Wanda against the 6-1 front and see what happens. See, that's where I would need to bend it back. So that was a little bit undisciplined by me. So let's take a look at this real quick. So again, you can kind of assume that you're probably going to have to definitely bang this, right? You're not going to be able to stay outside on this run, right? 71 is doing what he can. And then who's the second guy we're reading right now? In this case, this is probably not a great play versus this right here. I know that this defense is built to stop. 6-1's built to stop the outside zone. But take a look at the guard. If we're reading him next, then now I would need to do what? I would need to get inside that crease between the guard and the center and try to get in there. I did not. I was stubborn. Good job by the center, ripping, reaching, and running and getting in front of that guard. So that was a bad job by me. All right. So just want to kind of give you that idea. We do have nope, that's it for now. So that's the really beginning of the outside zone week. We'll probably need to build some more plays into that because a lot of the stuff I have coming up is outside zone strong, but the game naturally does that for you. But with some of the Oscar calls, you're going to get Oscar as a way to flip outside zone strong. You're going to kind of get back into this Wanda category. So as I'm learning to teach you guys this stuff, this semantics may not be perfect. As we go along, I can see myself changing some of the words like we just did with can. I'm going to add 1918 can Wanda so that now I can be sure to put myself in position to be in a good play. And as I learn more about that, I will give you guys some more. And I think once I look at some actual installs, I'll be able to see it even better. Okay. All right. I will catch you in the next part of this video. It will be talking about the wide zone going strong. Okay, continuing on, we see that we have now our plays that can go to the strong side. You can double call these plays, but these plays are really kind of like tempo plays, which means you're going to go fast. You're always going to have the numbers no matter what formation they give you when you have a fullback there. So first play we'll look at real quick is 18-19 force. All right. And then we're going to come on I chunk formation. So I should say chunk right or left there. So I'll change that. Really, the toss has nothing to do with the actual blocking scheme. We're still blocking 18-19, so we're going towards the tight end side, and we're going to be doing that. So let me just quickly change that real quick. Um, this one could be right or left. Okay. So then we go down to the next one here. We also see that we have 1819 force, okay, and an I right and I slot right or left. Okay, so those are basic formations. We can snap and go. If you want to go 19 weak with those formations, you can. If you want to go the opposite direction, but for right now, the way I have it planned is just to get set and go. These are going to be two back runs. Okay, so let's take a look at the actual drawings of this. Okay, so we have 1819 force. All right, there's other stuff here about sift and dart. Don't worry about that right now. Again, you can see the blocking scheme. The most important thing we got to take a look at for now is just the fullback here is going to block the Sam on the ball, block support. Sam off the ball, block support. If there's a straight safety down, he's going to block the force defender. Okay, so let's look at these examples here. This first one here is Y shift to I right book. Okay, 18 force. So the main thing is we're going right. So this is a situation where they start with the tight end out wide and then bring him back in. Okay, but for now, the fullback, he's going to block the strong safety. Okay, everybody else is going to block 18-19 force. Okay, so we're running that wide zone play to the tight end side. If you want to go the opposite way, we could do this. We can go fly to I left book, 19 force. All right, that's a way to kind of get shift with the tight end and work across the field and then go with that. So fly is a shift. We can talk about that more later. Compared to if we said Y left, Y to I right, Y left, that would be a motion. Okay, so not a big deal in this picture, but let's just take a look and see what else we have here going down. Just different formations, different ways to get to the same looks. You can see there's a lot of detail here with the different types of blocking we have up front with the offensive line, the double teams, the A words, the triples, things like that. Those will all have something to do with if you are to the front side or to the back side of a play. Okay. All right. Let's see what else we got here. So this is all the same. There are some other ones that are mixed in. We're not going to be able to get to. Cat would just tell the fullback to go block the corner and have the safety end up. Have the receiver block the support, and the fullback would go block the corner. So it's just a different way of blocking the same play. You might see a matchup that you might like from a run game standpoint. All right. All right. Let's take a look at the next one. Okay. So we're back here looking at the next run plays here. We have Oscar. So 1819 Oscar. So Oscar is just telling it's the same thing as flip. It's basically going to be a formation that's going to be balanced on both sides, and we're just going to call Oscar to flip it to the other way. Okay. Um, it's kind of like the can Wanda, but it's not the exact same mechanics of it. And the formations that we do this with, like I said, are probably going to be 12 personnel type of formations. Okay. Um, again, here, this one down here, these, let me actually highlight them for you can see. We show examples of this. I'm not 100% sure if it's called 18 Zap Can Wanda, but what we're going to get here is more of a wing formation. East is going to be a formation that's a wing. West is a wing formation. Okay, so we're going to get into those formations. We're going to run 18 or 19 to the two tight end side, or we can go 18 or 19 Wanda, depending on the look that we get. Okay, and the very last one here that I have highlighted is 18-19 structure. This is going to be more of your 11 personnel and talks about how the offensive line has to block the structure of the defensive front. I'm pretty sure these plays might be plays that might have cans attached to them. If you don't have the look that you want, you probably have to get into either like an RPO or a pass. But we'll look at that as we look at some of these pictures upcoming right now. Okay, so the first one we have is 1819 Oscar. Okay. And this is a play that, again, Oscar is just going to be able to basically change the direction that we're going to go. It means opposite, O for opposite. So as we go down, you're going to see a very easy formation to look at. We have solo right book. This is just solo. Okay, again, book has to do with the receivers being in a certain position. We don't have that position really in Madden, so you're not going to hear me say that. You're going to hear me say the word ace when it's close. That means both guys are close in that formation, but not important for this. We have 18, okay? And again, so we're starting to the right-hand side. All right. And if we don't like the numbers or we get a safety walk down and we know we can't block them, then we can always go Oscar, Oscar, and that's going to get us into 19. But you can see it's a very balanced formation looks. 2 by 2. Usually, if it's 2 by 2 like this, it's going to have a tight end walking back in to almost get back into solo. So that's going to be 18-19 Oscar. All right, let's take a look at the zap play. All right, so zap here is going to be run to the tight end side again. But what I've noticed, and I'm not 100% on this, it looks like it's going to have to do with having a wing set. So most of these zap runs have wing blocking. This again, when you're coaching, I used to coach tight ends for a little bit, and it has everything to do with the front that you're getting and who's going to block who. So how are you going to work the triple? So for example, in this picture here, right, our safety's walking down inside. Let's say it's like three buzz, and these three guys, the tackle, tight end, and the wing, all responsible for these three. So that little blocking scheme has to be worked a specific way, right? And you have to kind of see that on every single different type of look. You have to be ready for it. So these three guys, they could be working, what we call it. There's different blocks. There's quad blocks. Quad blocks involve the two tight ends blocking together. Okay, triple, I just said, involves all three of these guys together. All right, or if there's a quad, that means there's a double, which is usually the guard and the tackle working together. So these are the calls that have to be made by the offensive linemen when they're out there to let everybody know what they're doing. So from what I've seen, though, these zap plays are pretty much run it plays. I don't see any audibles off of them. So kind of looking at that. But as I look at the playbook, these are all wing runs for the most part. Okay. I haven't really seen any that's not involving two tight ends. So that's the reason why we put that in the book, called it Zap, but it's still 18-19. If you don't want to learn the little nuances, you're running 18-19. Everybody kind of understands what you're talking about if you say that. And I will go back. I did say it's a run it play. We can wander this and go weak if you just don't like the look whatsoever. Okay, so we have that in our capability, the way I'm calling it, but that's not 100% necessary. Okay, let's talk about structure. Structure really, again, is more of the one back stuff that I've seen. You're going to have potentially sifters in there. So there could be a fullback involved out of the one back sets. So something like this, like 19 toss structure. So you're going to see something where there's a sift here. I'm not sure why these may actually. Oh, he motions. Okay. So he's motioning. If they don't say anything, he needs to know he blocks the backside. So it looks like a one back type of play. I kind of have this in my sheet as 11 personnel plays, just to kind of remind everybody to block the core. Let's see if I can find some examples here of just pure 11. 11. Okay, here we go. So here goes 11 personnel. We're running to the tight end side. A lot of times they motion to it, as you guys can see. Let's go with this one here. We motion, right, bunch left, nasty wide right. We run 18 structure, all right, and there they do put a sift there. I'm not sure why they put sift and why they don't, but it kind of goes to the one back formations type of formations that I've seen. Again, if we just call this structure or we just call it 18-19, you're perfectly fine. So I'm adding in more now, and as I go along, I might end up changing some of this stuff, but just want to make sure you understand. Let's jump on the Madden field, take a look at it. Okay, so with 18-19, first one was the toss force. So if you want to call this one as I chunk, we can go right or left. Chunk is going to be Y off close. And you can have the toss right there. Not sure if this play is a great play in Madden, um, but we're getting the outside zone blocking. We're getting the 19 force. We're just getting that toss action. I should have definitely squeezed through there. So this is a key thing that you're going to see a lot of the 49ers do. Um, Again, this is a run it play. Even though the safety's down, we should have enough people, enough bodies to at least get positive yards. We don't on that one. That was kind of an unsound defense, to be honest with you. But this is 18 force, okay? You might want to make sure your matchups are good on the outside. 18 toss force, okay? Next one, we have 18 or 19 force on I left or slot. So what I did here, this is one time that I actually put in the stretch play. So the landmarks are going to be different. I actually still think the stretch play actually gives you a little bit more of a wider easier run than wide zone. I know that's blasphemy. Coach Scott, please don't kill me. Okay, obviously this is not a good time to run, a good place to run this one. I mean, I can technically run into this, but why not just, you know, check out of this play? So I don't have this set on right now when it comes to this formation, but I probably will add that later on. And then I slot will be the same thing. I slot will be stretch. So as we go along over the next couple months, I'm gonna let you guys know if I really like stretch or if I really like the wide zone. I'm not sure which one. Okay. All right, let's go to some of the 12 personnel. All right, you got two tight ends you want to use. So let's go with solo right or left, which is ace formation. Okay. And we have off tackle, halfback off tackle. So this one here is going to be 18 or 19 Oscar. So this would be solo right, 18 Oscar. All right. So as we get through, we can talk about, what side do you like to run to, the one technique or the three technique. It's up to you. A lot of times though, in general, I'm going to run away from the safety support. So if you see here, this is actually the strong safety or the free safety. He's actually walked down on the left of screen. So we want to run to the right. Okay. Work those double teams, work the same path and get through. If we don't like the look, we will go Oscar. Let's go with this. Let's see what we got. No Oscar here, but just be ready for that. The next one we also have is slot right left. Oh, that's wrong. Solo right left. I wrote that wrong. That's why we got to go through this sometimes. All right. So solo right left slot. Okay. So that would just be the same formation, just with the slot attached to it. So in the book, we have it as, where is it at? A slot. Okay. And we have wide zone ready to go. All right. So that's 1819 Oscar. All right. The other one we could do is I have here pistol P. That's what it stands for. Pistol West, right or left, Zen. Okay. So in this formation in pistol, again, when it's 12 personnel, you have different notes for slot formation or Zen formation. This is actually called Zen in their book. I'm pretty sure of it. If I'm wrong, I'll make a change on that later. But we can go 12 personnel. So this would be West right, pistol West right, Zen, 18, 18 Zap, Can Wanda. So we have wide zone here out of the wing flex close at a pistol, right? 18 Zap. So we talked about this, and then we can go Can Wanda if we didn't like the way the look is to the right side of the screen. We love the look. We're good to go. Okay. So that is pistol west right. Okay. Then we also have east right or left. Let's go east left, 19 Zap Can Wanda. So east left, we're going to come out here with the formation is actually called east in the book, which is great. Good job by Madden. This is 12 personnel. We can make this 21 personnel if you wanted to. All right. And we're going to call off tackle. All right. Then we're going to go up against any random 3-4 here. So we can run this play right here. We're fine. May not want to run this if there's some sort of bear front or safety down. That may be something you want to look into. Okay, so see if we get one more. East left again. This would be 19 Zap Can Wanda. This is kind of a tough front to run against. So I might want to go can, which will get me into instead of 19 Zap, it'll get me into 18 Wanda. And we work that play. Okay, that was kind of a penny type of front right there. You may not have wanted to run into that one, or even this one here. They're walking the safety down. I still think we can run this. I think the zap block, like we talked about with the tight ends, and let me try to think here. This might be a tough one. Offensive line guys, help me out here. I think this would be a quad with the two tight ends. Nope, probably wouldn't be. It'd probably be a triple, but then there's nobody to block the mic. So let's just take a look at this. Yeah, the tight end didn't even block the mic. So this is why there's rules in the game, and we'll learn them as we go. But just want to let you guys know that's the beginning of that. And then we have our normal formations. Let's go with stack right clamp 18 stack right clamp 18 structure. So this is going to be just 11 personnel. I'm pretty sure stack right clamp is this one. I am confused sometimes. Maybe it's this one. You see, I'm still learning. So this is tight Y off flex. We're going to go wide zone against 11 personnel. All right, so 18-19 structure. This is where I still don't know for 100% if we need to have some audibles. The general rule is when you have 11 personnel, you usually like to have a can to a pass play. It's the reason why RPOs are so big, because you don't have enough big body guys and adjusters to block interior players. But out of that tight formation, maybe you do. Then we have trips right. This is from the gun. So we don't have a lot of gun outside zones. I know that Shanahan wasn't a big fan of that back in the day. I'm not sure if he is now, but I didn't want to OD on it. But we do have. Oh wait, no, this isn't gun. This is under center still. My fault. I don't know why I have a plus or minus. So this is just trips under center, and this is where stretch comes into play. All right, so this is not gun. I do believe we do have one out of the gun though that will be coming from the tray Y open formation, which in their language is just going to be trips right open minus. I'm not sure if they actually say minus, so I got to figure out if they actually just say gun. I know, and the McVeigh, I think McVeigh older language, they would just say gun. They wouldn't mess around with the plus and minus signs. We'll talk about that later. I do believe there it goes off tackle. So we do have this 18-19 structure. There's no way you can run this play. I'm just telling you right now without having some sort of audible. You can't just run this outside zone play. The defense can give you too many looks. You would have to get out of this play. So I'm pretty sure this could be a play where we're going to can it to a different, like actual pass play. Could be canned to, stick, or in their language, disc. If they give us a look that is like everybody's up in the box, we just want to throw a quick game and go from there. Okay, so we'll look more into that as we build it out, as we actually use it in games. But that's pretty much the end of the outside zone run game. There's more outside zone that you guys can put in. That for me is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 outside run plays. I'll probably see myself running it 10 times in a game at most. And I might end up moving some of these plays into third down and short, like 3rd and 1. So don't be surprised. All right. First part of this book. Just wanted to get this guys to you. Hope you guys like it. I will attach the play call sheet if you guys want to mess around with it to the bottom of this thing on Patreon. YouTube guys, you guys see the book, you guys have it. Join the Patreon if you want to get the actual play call sheet. But this is one of those things that's going to be changing a lot. So don't get upset like every 2 or 3 days. It's like, hey, I updated the sheet, guys. So it's a living, breathing document, right? Trying to talk to you guys about it while I'm doing it. I've only played a few games. So we also probably need to jump online and play some randoms with this stuff and just see how it works. All right. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. We'll come back next and we'll talk some pass plays, some of the boots, because it really works off of outside zone, even though technically in the game it's inside zone action. But a lot of people are going to start flying over because of the wide zone, which is going to open up the nice boot game we're going to do next. And then we'll continue from there. All right. Talk to you later. Peace.